Well, having labored on Labor Day, we are back at it right here at Right Angle as we prepare for this week's episodes. We still suffer under the handicap of having Stephen Green in France, but worse than that, Bill Whittle is still in California. Bill, you have this week the members-only episode, so we'll give you the privilege of the floor. Go for it.
Okay, first story I want to do is interesting. I was originally going to do it just sort of as a where does this mockery end, but and now you know the rest of the story. They shut down a Greek event at the University of Mississippi because everybody in the school panicked because they found a banana peel in a tree, and they shut down the whole thing. They were all stressed and didn't know what to do. And
now I saw that headline. Were they afraid that it couldn't get down on its own, or what? I don't understand.
No, the guy. Yeah. Some kid said he was looking for a garbage can, couldn't find one, just tossed it in the tree. So I was all ready to come in and make fun of that, but it's actually a little more complicated than that. I just got to reread the article. At American University, previously, the first black student body president was inaugurated. And somebody hung bananas in trees saying free, and one said Harambe bait, something like that. So there's two things to talk about here. Number one, there's often a second part to the story, but also I think as importantly, all right, so something hateful and an adult has come your way and something unpleasant. What are you going to do? You're going to cancel everything? Is that what's going to happen? So you're saying let's just presume it was some sort of a racist intent that put that banana in the tree. You're saying grow up anyway? No, it most certainly was not racist intent in the University of Mississippi. In the first one, first of all, assuming it's racist, I'm sure it is. Harambe bait is pretty provocative, okay. But I'm not 100% sure that white people did it. I mean, most of these outrages that we see, these horrible race hate crimes are self-inflicted. They're done to make the opposition look bad. But I think the bigger point is if it turned out that that's true, then what do you do about it? I mean, is that what it's going to take?
Very little. I'll give my full answer in the segment, but very little would be the proper answer, I think.
Yeah. So that's that. And then for the members, John Legend is a musician. He did a casting call for, I got this from Instapundit, Steve, did a casting call here in Los Angeles for his new music video. He is looking for people to play Trump supporters because he's going to do an anti-Trump message. Imagine my shock. And he's saying we're looking for people 35 to 60, preferably overweight. So,
and I assume the white is implied.
Yeah, I think.
Is there any money in this? I'm perfect for that.
I would like to just do this as okay. So we know what you think of us, John. What would we do if we were casting people to go to a John Legend concert? Who would we be looking for? And I think that might be just a little bit of fun. So there you go.
We should make our own John Legend music video and cast it with the kind of people that we think would be part of his crowd. I like it. All right, thanks. Stephen Green, before the sun sets in France, you have an opportunity to tell us what you'd like to talk about this week.
I do. I want to talk about the end of the dream, although it might not be the end of the dream. Donald Trump, and I don't know why, because he campaigned on this, but he had Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, announce that they were going to wind down the DACA program. That's the deferred action on child. I just forgot the name of the thing, but it was
Children
Obama's
of aliens. No, it couldn't have been aliens.
No, it wasn't aliens, but it was Obama's executive order that was essentially unconstitutional, creating a new class of immigrant outside of Congress to protect these mostly adult children of immigrants who have clean records, have gone to school, have jobs, etc., so to protect them from deportation. But Congress wouldn't act on this when Obama was president, and Trump had Jeff Sessions make the announcement that they're going to unwind DACA. And this has turned into a real political hot potato of Trump looking like he's trying to have both sides of this. Jeff Sessions getting roped into making the announcement, and Congress has been passed the hot potato and is expected to act, even though they wouldn't act on this when Obama was pushing it. So we're going to have some fun unpacking this one.
Far be it from me to defend President Trump, but it occurs to me that essentially DACA is nothing but prosecutorial discretion when you get right down to it, since it was essentially an executive order, not a piece of legislation. And it's basically about whom the Justice Department will prosecute for violations of our law. So if it is prosecutorial discretion, wouldn't the Attorney General be the appropriate agent to make this announcement? I mean, we're not in campaign season anymore, are we?
But you've really taken it out of the hands of the prosecutors when you've set up a legal framework of applications that DACA people have to go through, a legal process they have to go through. So it's not prosecution discretion. This is a legal system for protecting a certain class of immigrant. And politically, it's actually quite popular to do this. But it also happens to be unconstitutional for Obama to have done it. And now Trump is trying to have both sides on this one in unwinding it, but not really unwinding it at the same time. We'll talk about the details in the segment.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, and there's a lot more I think that you can get into with that, and it's nothing but headlines about that today. I mean, if thank God for a Category 5 hurricane bearing down on the coast of the United States. Otherwise, there would literally be no other news. What I would like to talk about, and I have all these different headlines that are in the news, but I'll tell you what the thing that's been nagging at me this week. I'm sure you guys have heard of this. Is that Glenn Beck's organization has once again had to cut back on staffing, and I think it just kind of raises some questions about sort of right wing, if you want to call it that, conservative, libertarian / right leaning media, and how you can actually conduct such a business in a way that is both profitable and sticks to your principles. There are all kinds of theories as to why Beck's organization is having a hard time of it, some of which include his lack of full-throated support for President Trump. But I think it kind of hits home right here, too, a little bit, where you say, hey, how do people do this? Like, why is it that, Fox News, despite its hardship, seems to continue to print money, but it's been hard for anybody else to make a go of it? Yeah. So anyway, I thought that would be a good topic to kick around, and it may not be, we don't know the inside story, despite our, I'm sure all three of us have a relationship like this with Dana Lash. I mean, we are, pen pals, and, well, maybe Bill does. But anyway, we don't really know what's going on inside this organization. But I think that what we see from the outside is enough to give us pause and say, okay, everybody says we've got to counter the narrative. Well, who's making a go of that? Who's able to make it go other than around the strength of a single personality like Rush Limbaugh or Mark Levin? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Love it.
We have to get right at it to create this week's episodes of Right Angle at BillWhittle.com. We can only do so because of your generous contributions, your help here, your support, your membership at BillWhittle.com. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing and liking the videos and for getting the word out there in general. We'll see you this week on Right Angle. For Bill Whittle, Stephen Green, I'm Scott Ott. Thanks for tuning in.